We're live again on the Gear Channel. Uh, there we go. Hey, everybody. We're live from the dining room again on the Gear Channel. So I got my buddy Warren here again with me, the famous, the handsome, the Warren.
Yes,
We had,
hello everyone.
yeah, we had so much fun doing this last time that we decided to do it again, and we got a lot of cool stuff to talk about today. It's kind of an ugly day today. It's kind of a winter storm here in Saskatchewan, and couldn't think of a better thing to do on a ugly day. So, how you been, Warren?
Good. Yeah,
Good.
doing
You've
really
been
good.
busy shoveling snow and helping your
Yes.
neighbors and doing
Yeah.
all those good things, working and yeah, me too. So anyway, we got lots to talk about today. I got a whole list of things to chat about, and I promise you, none of this is boring. There's some really cool information here to share with you guys that I've learned. So first off, Dragon's Car Show is coming up uh, this month, 29th and 30th, Easter weekend. It's been Easter weekend since 1961. And oh, what do we got on here? We got Mike. Hey, Mike and Rochelle. Hi, Rochelle. Denise is on there. We got a few people tuning in. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, as I mentioned, the Dragons Car Show, 29th and 30th, Easter weekend at Prairieland Park, also known as the World Trade Center. It's a new name it goes under now. Oh, we got somebody else on here. Oh, we got Neil. Hey, Neil, thanks for tuning in. And anyway, yeah, Dragons Car Show. Looking forward to that. That's a big one coming up. You can look forward to Blair's on here. Hi, Blair. We've got some more teaser videos coming for you on the channel. The Dragons have asked me to help them out with that again. Social media, they know that that's an important thing as far as advertising goes, and they've asked me to help out and do some more teaser videos. We'll also have some video from the show again this year. Lots of cool stuff to share. So I kind of dedicate my early spring, the channel gets dedicated to promoting that and Camp Easter Seal and all that stuff. So, anyway, one thing I wanted to talk about real quickly here, in regards to the Dragons Car Show. So, I don't know if you guys seen the poster. It was shared digitally on Facebook, and there's been some advertising. Now, the car on that poster is really, really super interesting. Now, you always see a Dragons member's car on the poster. It's been like that for many years. This year, it's the fellow's name is Robert. He's been a member for a long time. He's got a huge Ford collection, and the car that's on the poster is a '63 Ford Galaxy. Belongs to Robert, and this car is very special. I just wanted to share some information about that thing, so you guys know what you're looking at when you see this thing. So it was just restored by Creative Concepts here. Uh, Oh, you haven't seen the poster yet. It's on. They have some. Now it is. There's no hard copies yet. I don't believe this thing is printed, but there's a digital copy on Facebook. They've been sharing some a little bit of advertising on it, and it's a '63 Ford Galaxy. Now the cool thing about this car is it has a sock motor, 427, single overhead cam engine. Now those things are I'll go through, I'll try to explain what we're looking at here. So there was 500 of those engines made in 1964. Like I say, it's a SOC 427 SOC single overhead cam. That's what that stands for. They were created for NASCAR in 1964, and then they got banned. There was a weight restriction put on them. Ford created this to compete with the Hemi in NASCAR. And then once that engine came out, there was huge weight restrictions put on those cars, and they didn't end up using them. So they those engines then were given to the drag racers, and guys like Tom McHugh and Connie Coletta, Ed Pink, Mickey Thompson, Don Nicholson. They all had these engines, and they were phenomenal engines. But a very limited run of them. Like I say, 500. Now there is reproduction 427 stock engines that you can get, and I'm going to share with you this part blew my mind. So now the price of those reproduction engines runs between $35,000 and $40,000 for a reproduction. Now the most expensive one has sold for $85,000, and that's a reproduction. And more recently, one was sold on eBay for $65,000. Now this is a reproduction engine. Now I don't know with Roberts if it's an. I always had the impression it was a legit one of the 500, but I could be wrong about that. It could very well be a reproduction. But even if it is, I mean that's a $60,000 engine at least in that car. So when you look at that car, when you see it at car show, it's just an amazing part of Ford history, drag racing history. The only problem they had with those engines when they started running them in nitro cars was it has one big long 7-foot long timing chain that runs the two cams. So there's a cam under each valve cover. There's no push rods in this engine. It's Ford's version of the Hemi. And it made about 616 horsepower naturally aspirated with a single carburetor. Of course, it made a lot more with a blower and nitromethane. And anyway, they one of the drag racers actually made a gear-to-gear setup and eliminated the chain, and those things became really reliable. And even today, they consider them to be a really stout, a good engine for even by today's standards. Hey, Lyle, thanks for tuning in. Well, I got a few people on here. It's good to see that. We got some friends on here.
Yep. Then as soon as you're done going through that list, I'm going to mention of what Blair just told us. So happy Blizzard.
Oh, yeah.
Blizzard Day. So I want to mention that, but I'll wait until you're done talking about your list first.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm pretty much covered what I wanted to say about. I just wanted everybody to know when they do see that car. So it was created by or restored by Creative Concepts in Warman. They're a world-class builder. This car is amazing. They've done a couple cars for Robert now. His Cougar was in last year's show, and it was a feature car I did on the channel. And they also restored that one. So that was in last year's show. And then this year they got the Galaxy. And like I say, it's very, very special. I don't know what that car would be valued at with a $60,000 engine. It could be if it's a legit one of the 500, which I'm kind of doubtful. A lot of those things were destroyed on the track. Drag racers blew them up, running them in nitromethane cars. But it's something to see. Anyway, sorry, you were going to say.
Yeah. So Blair just told me and Gary happy Blizzard Day. I actually just wanted to let all you viewers know that that yes, we are experiencing a blizzard winter snowstorm right now. That's doing right now for today and tomorrow evening. The City of Saskatoon website had made a statement on there that they recommend that residents do not go out tomorrow on their commute because their city crews need to have room to clear the roadways so that way people can have a safe, clear driving lane to drive tomorrow. But if you guys do have plans tomorrow, you guys do need to go out and do any errands, I suggest you adjust your morning driving conditions so that way you guys don't get stuck or you guys are not any way of heavy equipment that's going to be out there clearing our streets tomorrow. So I just wanted to just mention that out there. And also I just want to recommend that you guys all make sure you guys have your up behind snowblowers, gassed up and ready to go for tomorrow as well, because you guys are probably going to use them as well to dig out your guys' driveways, because I'll recommend that than doing hand shoveling for tomorrow.
Don't want to get a heart attack, and you don't want to leave your vehicle stranded in the middle of the road so the crews can't get down. Good point, Warren. Yeah, it's important. It's kind of dangerous out there. You can hardly see across the street. We had somebody else, Brad. Hey, Mr. Brad, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. What's it like there in Moose Jaw, Mike? Do you get some bad winter weather there as well?
Like I've been checking the weather statements, and the Environment Canada alerts. It is saying that it's supposed to extend the whole entire Saskatchewan province. So I think Moose Jaw is going to be targeted with this snowstorm as well.
Yeah.
You might want to check to see how much snow that you are getting, because I don't even know how much snow that we are supposed to be getting, because weather statements that they're saying that are supposed to get like up to like 20 to 40 centimeters. Some other provinces are supposed to like get up to like 30 centimeters or 35 centimeters. So it depends on where you are, and it depends on what the alerts you guys have received and how much snow you guys are getting out there.
Yeah, good point, Warren. Mike says it is ugly in Moose Jaw, and his snowblower is all ready to go.
That's good. That's good there, Mike. That's good. Sorry, I haven't been watching your videos lately. I've been busy with work and all that. I just haven't had time to catch up on your videos, but I'll make sure to keep an eye out on your new videos that you put out, and I'll make sure to tune in and watch them.
Got to watch Mike's channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lyle. I was just saying that the Dragons Car Show 29th and 30th, Easter weekend. I talked a little bit about Robert Morrison's.
You're welcome, Gary. You're welcome, Mike.
Yeah. That's at this point, you'll see some teaser videos on the channel coming up very soon, possibly as early as next weekend on. And we'll try and keep you updated on what to expect at this year's show. It's looking pretty exciting. Blair's got his car in there. I'm really excited about that. There's a lot of neat stuff. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that poster car. Not a lot of people. Rochelle mentioned, if you go to the Creative Concepts, if you go to them on Facebook, Creative Concepts and Restorations, they have a little teaser video, and it's just a quick walk around of that car idling. They got it running. They did all the fabrication. I can tell you, when Robert started to put that sock motor in that car, there was a lot of issues with fitment. The thing is dimensionally huge. It's hard to even describe. Anyway, they got it working. They got everything in there. It works, and it looks awesome. I can't wait too. There's some cool stuff there this year, and that car is, like I said, it's a poster car, and a lot of people will walk by that and not really know what they're looking at. So yeah, the car, the engine doesn't really match the car. It's a 63 Galaxy. The engine was produced in 64, but I mean, come on. That is, you don't see too many sock motors, and that one's really special.
Actually, there is something that I'd like to mention about the Dragons as well. Since Gary is talking about it, not that long ago, me and Gary had a tour at the Dragons Clubhouse, and it was actually very good. Very good experience. Kevin, one of the members there, took me, Chris, and myself on a tour, and he toured us the whole entire clubhouse, even their maintenance garage where they fix on vehicles and all that. I'm looking forward to the Dragons Car Show that's going to be held in Pearland Park. I'm going to be looking forward to that. and also during this spring, they actually gonna have me and Chris out there during spring to be a part of one of their morning meetings that they're gonna have on a Monday. So I will be looking forward to that. And also, they are going to be hosting a customer appreciation day. So they also had invited me and Chris to that as well. So I'll be looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, Warren's going to sit in a meeting and take part in the club appreciation day that they have every spring. That follows right after the Coachman fall round or spring deal at Pike Lake. Looking forward to that. That'll be on the channel. We'll share that stuff. I can't share the meeting part, but Warren's going to sit in a meeting and see what that is all about. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Brad, you remember seeing that car? So that has an interesting story. Now, I was there when that car got delivered to the Dragons clubhouse. Robert bought that sight unseen. He was told it was a 427 4-speed side oiler, and he bought that car sight unseen. It got delivered to the clubhouse. I was there with him when it helped him unload it, and it was black in color when he got it, not the original color. Turned out to be not as advertised, and once they dug into the engine, found out that the valley was cracked, pulled the intake off, valley was all cracked. Somebody tried to weld it. Looks like it was left full of water at some point, and that engine was, deemed unusable. So Robert had this Sauk engine. So where he got that Sauk engine, he was at a car show, and I don't remember where it was from, which car show he was at. It was in Edmonton, Calgary. Regina, I can't remember where it was. I wasn't present, but this fella had a huge Ford display, and he had different engines bordering his display. The Sauk was one of them. I think he had a Boss engine there, and they were just all bordering this real amazing Ford display. And Robert approached the guy and asked him if he'd consider selling the engine, and he did. And I don't know what he paid for that Sauk engine, but that's how he acquired it. And then when he found out that the engine in the Galaxy was unusable, he thought, well, this would make a kind of a neat, I'm going to use that one in there.
Lyle said, can you buy the Dragons car show posters? Well, I don't know how to answer that for you, because you might have to contact the Dragons and ask them about that question. Like, I don't know if they even sell posters like that for people to buy, because I don't know if Gary knows anything about that.
Yeah,
but
I could answer that. So usually, now it varies from year to year, but the Abilities Council will have a booth there, and they'll be selling T-shirts with the poster car on them and various items that the Abilities Council sells there. And sometimes they have posters there for sale or giveaway. But yeah, that's where you got to go if you want one of this year's posters, is to the Abilities Council's booth. It's usually, I don't know where it's located this year. It might be in a different location. It's usually really close to the door. And that's where you buy your shirts. And if there's any posters available to the public, that's where you can find them. Yeah. So yeah, looking forward to that. That's going to be a neat one. There was, while we're talking about, I made a big mistake I want to correct here. So we're talking about Shane. I visited a coworker, Randy. He was working on Shane's Corvette. Visited him in his garage, and then Shane picked up the Corvette and he dropped off another car. And I did a video on that car. I was I've been getting a lot of flack for this, at least at work. Went and videoed Shane's 39 Chevy Coupe that he acquired. And on the thumbnail and the title of the video, I said that was a 39 Pontiac. How that all kind of happened, Shane actually, he had a 39 Pontiac that he traded. It was a project he traded to acquire the 39 Chevy that showed up in the video. And I, of course, had Pontiac on my brain, hadn't seen the car in a year and a half, and went over there to shoot the video. And now it's all in pieces. The headlights and all the trimmer are ripped off it. And I just had Pontiac on my mind. And there's only one guy that caught that and mentioned it to me personally in a personal message. One of the Dragons members said, "Yeah, Gary, that's not a Pontiac. That's a Chevy." I said, "What are you talking about? That can't be right." And he showed me. Anyway, I made a big mistake there, and he was the only one that actually reached out and let me know. And then I got a lot of flack for it at work for getting that whole video wrong, or at least the title and the type of car I was looking at. So I was going to correct that in the next video. But when the car... Lyle's asking when the car show is. 29th and 30th of March, end of this month, Easter weekend. And I believe the hours are, Brad, maybe you can, Brad or Ken, and Ken's still on here, you can confirm the hours. What is it, 10 till, does it start at 10 in the morning and go till, or is it 9 to 9? I can't remember the hours. I should know that. Ken would know. Ken, if you're on here, share with us the hours of car show. I know it's Friday and Saturday, Easter weekend, 29th, 30th of March. Coming up, 4 weeks away. We'll see if Ken can answer that for us. While we're waiting for Ken to, the last video, I just want to mention this real quick. The last video, there's some interesting information here. I did a video, 9 to 9. Thank you, Ken.
Oh, hey, Ken. I was just mentioning about you, because I told everyone on here about our tour that we had at your guys' Dragon Clubhouse, and told them that Gary and I had a great tour, and told them the upcoming events. And so yeah, I just wanted to let you know about that, Ken.
Yeah, we're talking about you.
Yes, we were. Yeah. Yes, we were.
Yeah, Warren very much enjoyed his tour and looks forward to sitting in a meeting.
Yep, we look forward to that.
Club Appreciation Day. That's going to be all fun.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to mention that the last video I did, a long form video I did, was on auto parts. And there was some information I found out that I didn't share on that video that was really interesting. Your ears were burning, Ken. Yeah. So in my research of that auto parts video I did, I talked about a lot of stuff coming from China and different countries, and how much of our stuff is actually made in the US and Canada. And when I was doing that research, I also, you get information on how much of our vehicles today are made in Canada and the US, and how much is outsourced to other countries. And it's a very small amount. It's like less than 50% with most makes, models, and brands. However, the one that they list on there as being 100% American made, and this one really blew my mind, is the Tesla. Now, I will argue this one till I'm blue in the face, because the main component of any EV vehicle is its battery. And the battery is not, the components in that battery are not manufactured in Canada and the US, as we all know. Now, Tesla does have a manufacturing facility in Texas where they actually assemble and make batteries for the Tesla car. And I'm talking specifically the Tesla. Now, I have some interesting information regarding what goes into making a battery specifically for a Tesla in these EV cars. So the components, first of all, are lithium, cobalt, graphite, nickel, and manganese. Now, in 2021, Tesla actually, they get their lithium, or pardon me, they get their graphite from different locations. But they just signed a deal it's a 3-year deal with China for all their lithium. And 2/3 of the world's global supply of graphite comes out of China. Now you're seeing kind of I talked about a lot of Chinese parts and different things like that. Now the Tesla, I'm going to share with you what goes into making one Tesla car battery. So 25,000 pounds of brine is used in the lithium to extract the lithium. 30,000 pounds of ore for the cobalt. 5,000 pounds of ore for the nickel. 25,000 pounds of ore for the copper. And a total of 500,000 pounds of earth has to be moved to make one Tesla battery. Just you think about the energy that goes into moving 500,000 pounds of earth, the power, the energy, the gas, diesel, whatever they use to extract those minerals. Like, for example, cobalt comes out of the Congo. Half of the world's supply of cobalt comes from the Congo. Now, there was a real interesting documentary that a guy did. He actually traveled to the Congo, took his life in his own hands. You got some video of them in a pit. So he had to go through the jungle with a camera. He took pictures and video of this. So it was a huge pit with thousands of people, men, women, children, mining cobalt raw by hand. And this whole pit was bordered by guys with machine guns. This is a very serious deal. And the thing to remember about this stuff is it's toxic. People are dying mining this stuff by hand. It was a really interesting documentary. Anyway, this is what goes into making one car battery. All the energy expelled to make one battery for a Tesla car specifically. It's just incredible amount of energy. And you talk about carbon footprints and water, gas, just anyways, ridiculous. I wanted to share some of that with you guys. And they say that, if you go online, it says that the Tesla car is 100% produced in America. But we all know that the only thing that makes those electric cars can't do anything without their battery, and the main components that make those stupid batteries do not come from the United States or from all over the world. And in some cases, the cobalt is mined by hand with people at gunpoint in toxic, conditions. Anyway, I thought that was worth sharing.
Hey, my buddy Kevin's on here. Hey, man, how's it going? It's been a while since I have talked to you.
Mr. Kevin's on here.
Yeah.
Well, Brad, a Cat 797 haul truck burns on average 30 gallons of diesel per hour. There you go. That's what that one, so, they probably use, there's a good example of 30 gallons of diesel an hour. You worked on Fort Mac. Yeah.
I'm doing good, Kevin. I'm doing good. Doing really good.
797. Yeah, you worked in Fort Mac there, Mike. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, just ridiculous. I keep bringing this stuff up, these electric vehicles. I think we talked about this extensively in the last live, but I never really went into detail. And I just found this out researching the information for the auto parts video, because we talk about all this stuff coming from different. And the whole reason I did that video is kind of funny. The last auto parts video I did was over a year ago. It was 365 days, almost to the day. And I started getting that video started to gain traction again for some reason. And I was getting all these comments on my channel, guys that were saying how, I don't buy Chinese parts. I buy this Made in America stuff. And I'm all about buying made in America. At the end of the day, you're still supporting American labor. And that's a good thing. However, I just wanted to clarify with guys that these parts, even though it says made in America, all those components don't come from America. I just wanted to clarify that.
And actually, I want to clarify the mining truck that Mike is saying here, 797. Yeah, Caterpillar does make big, giant, heavy-duty pieces of machinery to do mining work, like those big hauling trucks, those big digging excavators, and those large front-end loaders that you'll see in mines. And those are super large pieces of equipment, because those will be way above your head. And plus, if you're going to drive one of those, you got to be extremely careful when you're driving them, because you are going to be up way above ground, and you really got to watch your surroundings and watch your blind spots so that you don't run anybody over, because those are big, giant pieces of equipment to drive in the mine.
Yeah, Mike works on those and a 992 loaders, 24H graders, etc. Yeah, Mike does he's a hydraulics engineer, so he works on, and those things are just all hydraulic cylinders.
Oh yeah,
run
totally.
them, and he works on a lot of that heavy duty stuff, as does Brad. Brad works on a lot of heavy duty equipment in the mines.
That's good.
They are big, yes, sir.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I never got to see one up close, but I have watched. I watched big heavy machinery mine equipment on YouTube, and that's how I learned from it. I bet you if you had to buy a new big giant mine equipment, it's going to be very expensive to buy, because those are big giant earth moving pieces of equipment to work in the mine.
Yeah. Yeah, so I briefly touched on yes, for sure. Yeah, Mike. I briefly touched on that Sauk engine. I forgot to put things in perspective. So we talked about that Sauk engine in Robert's car being possibly valued at $60,000. Just to give you some perspective, you could buy a fairly a super high-end race engine. Well, I'll give you an example here. The very latest, best, latest 632 GM crate engine retails for $37,000 American. And there's a lot of high dollar race engines you can buy for $25,000 American. And this, yeah, just to put some things in perspective, dollar wise, that Sauk motor is considerably more money than that. Of course, very nostalgic piece of NASCAR drag racing history, NASCAR history.
Oh, hey, Paul. We're doing good. Me and Gary are experiencing a blizzard snowstorm right now in Saskatoon, but other than that, Kim and I are doing pretty good.
Good to see you, Paul. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, definitely good to see you, and thanks for tuning in.
And Ken's doing Hot Wheel restorations. Yeah, so I visited Ken. Did you see that video when I went to Ken's house and looked at his collection?
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. I when I looked in the basement, when you went down to his basement and I seen all that stuff on those shelves, I was like, oh my God, he's got a big stash down there.
He does.
I saw that.
And it keeps getting bigger. He's got an impressive. He's working on Hot Wheels now. He's on a Hot Wheels kick. Still collecting his BA cans, and But he's on a Hot Wheels kick now. He's pretty serious about that, and he's doing a nice job restoring them. I seen someone saying, if you can buy Dragons poster, where can I get one? If they are available, Kevin, they will be at the Abilities Council's booth, which is right inside the door. It's usually when you walk in the front door, it's usually to the right. I don't change the location of that booth or not, but that's where you can buy all the posters and knickknacks. They usually have little items for sale there. You know, t-shirts is one of them. That's where you can buy your car show t-shirt. And if there's posters available for sale, they'll be at that booth. I see someone saying, if you, okay, Ken has built a museum in his home. Yeah, I refer to it as the museum. Yeah, it certainly is like that. It's, well, you know what? I've seen a lot of collections, and usually they're in big buildings. And Ken's is big enough to be in a building, but he's got it nicely displayed in his house, and it's all organized nice and neat where you can enjoy it and see it all, and just tastefully set up. I like the way he's got it organized.
Paul says, I hope you guys do more
Beaumont and Acadian. Yeah.
videos. Great channel. You guys are doing a wonderful thing on YouTube. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. Yeah, anytime I can see a Beaumont or Acadian, I'm going to be on top of it. That's for sure. And you've got a beautiful Beaumont, 69, if I remember correctly. Beautiful restored Beaumont. And yeah, anytime I can come across a Canadian car, I'm going to be all over that car.
Hi, Kay. Just wanted to say I really enjoy your channel from a young trying to
gearhead, trying to learn
the ways.
Well, that's awesome. Yes. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you watching. And yeah, anytime I can, I like to share as much as I can. I really like, there's some really cool channels out there. A guy like Uncle Tony's Garage, he's a Mopar guy. And he really, if you haven't tuned into Uncle Tony, certainly do. I followed him back in the day. He used to write into, or he had forums in magazines like Popular Hot Rodding and Mopar magazine and different things. And he was into everything. He had nitro cars. And he always wrote these little blogs that I'd read in the magazines. I subscribed to all these magazines and learned so much from that. And now he has a YouTube channel, and it's a huge channel, and he really caters to helping out young gearheads. And he's not big into it. He really likes working with what you have, and it's geared to the younger guy trying to make things work. And I really think there's a lot of value in that. We want young people to be involved in this hobby, and if they aren't, it's not going to last.
I'm definitely going to have to take a look. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, check out Uncle Tony. He's got a lot of weird, wacky stuff on there, and some of it, not all of it appeals to me, but he certainly the majority of his channel is geared towards younger, budget-minded hot rodders that are trying to. And now, like I say, he's a Mopar guy. Most of his stuff is Mopar related, but it applies to all makes and models. And yeah, anytime I can share stuff that might help a guy out, then I'm going to be all about it. And D&D. Yeah, I appreciate that, Rochelle. Yeah, D&D Speed Shop. He's a guy in Winnipeg, and he's a budget-minded builder, if you can call him that. And he's not building show cars. He's taken. I appreciate what he does. Also, he's taking cars that some people wouldn't even think of touching. And he's putting them back on the road, and he's making them safe. The first thing you'll see Dan at D&D Speed Drop do, he puts all new front end and steering components and brakes, and then he builds the rest of the car. And like I said, it's not a show car, but he looks after the safety aspect first on every single car. You'll notice that about Dan. And he gets these cars back on the road in a safe way. And of course, you got to pass a safety inspection in Manitoba. Part of why he does that, but he does not skimp when it comes to safety. Ball joints, tie rods, brakes, rotors, all that stuff is brand new, and then he builds the car around that. And Mike also, yes, you got a four-door Nova. You share a lot of interesting stuff. You've done a ton of upgrades on your Nova. And so if you haven't yet tuned in to Mike, check out Mr. Heated Jackets, Quebec Garage. He's another guy that shares a lot of interesting how-tos on his channel regarding his Nova and other things.
Yeah, and he also got himself a new truck not that long ago, so make sure you watch out for those videos as well. He makes videos about his truck as well.
Yeah,
he has.
Yeah, and Nick's Garage, another one, a guy out of Quebec, another Canadian guy, does really cool stuff. He's got a shop in Quebec, kind of caters to the muscle car community. And there's all kinds of makes, models, and brands. Of course, Nick's also a Mopar guy, but he restores and shows a lot of dyno videos and builds on really cool classics there. I like all those channels. Would you ever manual trans your Chevelle? I get a lot of flack about that. I'm all about the manual transmission. However, I think and man, you can have a lot of fun with a 4-gear. My 4-gear friends, like Mr. Ken and Kelvin, they all give me static about having an automatic. And I think that for me personally, it would make it more fun to drive for sure. But as an ex-drag racer, I found that the automatics were far more user-friendly. I don't know if that's the right word. You miss a shift at the track, you might be in some trouble. Yeah, I certainly it's a lot of people have a lot more fun driving a 4-gear than the automatic. But I've always been a automatic guy. Yeah, it's not as much fun to drive the autos, but yeah, Calvin and I have been on him about that for a while. Yes, they have. It's fun watching those guys roll through the gears, that's for sure. And you can have a lot of fun with the right 4-speed. However, I've seen Calvin kill quite a few of those 4-speeds. Not so much the rest of the car, but the 4-speeds don't seem to live long. Could get you in a ton of, with a 4, ton of trouble. Yeah, auto is perfectly fine. Yeah. Yeah, 4-speed cars, 5-speed, 6-speed, they're all fun. Oh, there's a question for you, Warren.
Oh, says Warren, what is your favorite muscle car? Let's see. What is my favorite muscle car? Well, I remember this one video that me and Gary did back in summer last year at the Cars and Coffee, and I think a guy had brought out one of his monster truck out there, and I did a video pick on it, and I think that was the most vehicle that I really liked, and I picked that one.
Yeah.
Like there were so many cars I picked from like last year, so it's really hard to decide which one is your actual favorite.
Yeah.
To answer that one.
Denise is saying Chevelle is the right answer.
Thanks, Denise. Yes, I think you're right. Gary's Chevelle 68 is the right car to pick. Yes,
But
definitely.
I think Mike had the right answer. Warren likes them all.
Yes, that's right. That's right there. That's right there, Mike. Yeah.
Yeah, he picks some nice cars.
Yeah.
And trucks and vans and that a boy.
Yeah, I don't think Gary will switch to any of automatic Chevelles anytime soon because I really like his Chevelle the way it is right now with the gear shift. But if he had some troubles with his car that kept on breaking down, or if it can't be saved anymore, or it can't be fixed, then maybe he'll find a used car that will have automatic. But I think he'll just stick with the car that he already has because I don't think that car will let him down anytime soon.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. It's not near as nice as yours. Yeah, mine's a driver quality. Yours is show quality. But thank you.
So it is it's a really good car to drive in. Like I fit so many different models and brands of Chevelles last year, and not all vehicles are perfect. Like I try my best to pick the right cars for me to pick, and I just go with it.
Yeah, you pick a lot of interest. What carburetor do you? Oh, it's currently a 750 Holly. I don't know if I'm not too crazy about that one, but it's not giving me any trouble. It seems to work fine. It's just a very basic 750 Holly manual choke. I don't, and I've wired that manual choke wide open. I don't use the manual choke, but it seems to work fine. I've thought about trying different stuff, but I had a 750 quick fuel on there, had a lot of trouble with that, and I think it was the metering blocks. There was a manufacturing defect in that metering block. I had that carb on several different engines, and I just gave up on it. I tried so much with it, ended up buying a brand new out of the box, just a cheap, basic 750 Holly, nothing fancy, like I say, manual choke deal, and it works okay. The electric choke, yeah, that was just another mechanical part. The quick fuel had a electric choke on it, and I just took it off. You know what? That thing, I've got it set up where if it sits for an extended period of time, it just takes one pump with the gas, and the thing is running. And if it sits for a week, I don't even have to touch the gas. It starts. It's never given me an issue. So I've never messed with chokes too much. Remember that day at the Cars and Coffee and asked if you wanted to ride home in the Chevelle that started your ride home from many car events in it. I think that's a question for you, Warren.
Well, I think you did ask me that, and I think Gary had mostly been driving home from mostly of the cars and coffee. He did drive me home once from the car show in downtown. That was last summer.
Oh yeah,
And
nice.
And yeah,
Yeah, you've had quite a few rides in the Chevelle. Uh, Cars and Coffee multiple times, and yeah, from the downtown car show, uh, no choke's best. Yeah, I know some guys like running a choke. I just I've always eliminated them because it's never been an issue. I don't know if it's the way I set things up. It's just another, to me, it's another mechanical part that isn't necessary, at least the way I set it up. So I just eliminate them. I wire the thing wide, the butterfly wide open, and it's just solid, never moves. Uh, Gear ratio. It's a 331 uh, with an Eaton Tree Track posi in it. 331, I believe that's the factory gear that came with the car. I'm not positive. It's 12 volt. Uh, and it's kind of a nice gear. Some days I wouldn't mind something a little. Uh, the car would really benefit from more gear. The converter that's in there right now is really a loose converter. It can benefit from having a 373 or even a 410, and they make the car a lot snappier. But the 331, I kind of like to be able to go on the highway and the freeway and stuff like that. And this way, it's not screaming that big block for an extended period of time. I can go on long highway trips and and it's pretty, you know, pretty tame on the highway. It doesn't. What is it? 100 kilometers an hour. I'm at like 2,400 RPM, something like that. And it's with a 275 60/15 tire on the back, 331 gear, turbo 400, and it's pretty, it's reasonable.
so it looks like my buddy Kevin says I gotta get you in for a ride in the wagon this summer, and and uh and also the old police car. Well, Kevin, I think you and I should do a ride along in the police car first, and so I can try out that CB radio and talk to these
Yeah.
semi drivers and these contractors that you communicate with, and then maybe one of these days, if you bring your wagon to the Cars and Coffee, then maybe that'll be one of the days you can drive me home in that wagon as well. So yeah, so either both, but yeah, we should really do a ride along in your old police car.
Be very
Definitely.
Cool. Very, very, very cool. Yeah, 411 gears. Uh, I had another car that I ran consistently at the track, and it was a street car. Uh, and I had a set of 410s in that thing, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a nice aggressive gear. Uh, Not so friendly on the highway and the freeway though.
Thank you, Paul. Yeah, I am totally a car dude.
Yeah, he certainly is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had lots of fun. You've met a lot of car people. You're becoming very famous.
Oh yeah, totally.
People know who you are. Yeah, Kevin's all about the ride in the police car. That sounds good, he says.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, I think I was messaging Kevin through Facebook not that long ago, and we were actually talking about that having a ride along in that police car and trying out that CB radio and talking to some semi drivers and contractors and all that, and yeah, so I'll be looking forward to that.
Be very fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a number of people offer Warren rides, and that's good. He likes that experience.
Yep. Warren, you love Dexter. Ask Gary how much he loved him when he went.
Oh, Baxter went for a ride in the Chevelle one time. Uh, and Mr. Baxter threw up in my car.
Oh no, seriously?
Yeah, Mr. Baxter. He was a puppy then. And before COVID, we tried to socialize him as much as we could. So we took him out in the car lots. And I don't know if I was driving too fast or I was corner. I don't know what, but the dog decided to throw up all over my console. Thank goodness it was mostly dry kibble.
Well, I do go to Dairy Queen a couple of times for like if I want to go there for lunch or something, because I find their burgers and their French fries and their drinks to be good. So yeah, I really like going there as well.
The Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to go to the Dairy Queen on 8th Street there and kind of park our hot rods. And it was kind of a cool place to. And we took Baxter a couple of times there. And he wasn't that much fun.
And just to let you guys know, when I arrived here today, before we even did this live video, Baxter was really happy to see me today when I came in. So he was very happy.
Yeah, he was happy to see you.
Yeah.
You are a big dog guy. You got lots of dogs at home still?
Yeah.
And you have your own dog too. What kind of dog is he?
I have Arlo. He's a Cowshon. I got Juno. I got Sammy. That's Yorkie. And I still have my cat at home.
You've got lots of pets. You're
yes.
Pet friendly guy.
Yeah. Yes, that's right, Denise. He was happy to see me. Yep.
I'll have the old decals back on the car, just the stripes. Oh, okay. So that's on your police car. You got some decals for your police car. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, totally.
Very, very, very cool. Yeah, so we're running up on a full hour here, guys. Did we cover everything that? Oh, there was one thing that wanted to mention on here before we go. Next weekend, there's a RC race in Dundurn, Saskatchewan. I don't know if there is a chance that I might make it there next weekend to do some video. We'll have to see. I can't say 100%. I kind of got to dedicate a lot of the next few weeks to the Dragons, but there is a chance I might make it there. Warren's involved with that. It's in Dundurn, Saskatchewan. Racing is between, 9 and 4?
Yeah.
Next Saturday
and Sunday. Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday. So there's a big RC race, and Warren races a vehicle out there as well. He's got an RC. You and Chris are very involved in putting that together.
Yeah.
And you kind of help with the organizing and keeping the thing running. And next weekend is a big race. So I wanted to share that on here. May get out there, I may not. But yeah, that I wanted to make sure that we mention that on here. So yeah, if you're into RC racing, there's a big indoor track in Warman. Do you remember the name of the building, Warren?
Yeah. It's Dundurn Sports Center.
Dundurn Sports Center next Saturday and Sunday, and racing was 9 till 4.
Yeah,
9 till 4. So cool thing to take in. We had talked about this last summer, possibly going out there. Chris and Warren, like I say, very involved in this RC racing in Dundurn. What's the club called?
I think it's RC Radio Control Club.
Radio Control Club. And you're involved with it. And there's going to be some cool racing next weekend in
Yeah.
Dundurn. So I wanted to mention that on here. I hope to get out there and share some video because that's something I've never shared, and that would be a cool thing to have on here. And I'm into RC stuff, and Warren races out there, so it would be cool to share that. We'll see if that we can make that happen. Like I say, I got some dragon stuff. I know I got to dedicate some time to that, and I don't know if it's going to clash with me getting out there or not. But I wanted to make sure that we mentioned that this was going on.
Well, we're going to have to see there, Kevin, because right now we're experiencing this snowstorm. So we're going to have to see what May comes around and see if all the snow will be gone by then before Gary considers of doing his first visit at Cars and Coffee on Circle Drive.
Yeah, usually my experience with that is as soon as the weather is nice enough to drive your car. My very first time out there last spring, there was still a little bit of snow on the ground. The snow was kind of all gone, and then we got an overnight dusting. I drove my car there with snow on the ground. Not a lot, but usually it's when the weather is nice enough to drive, and then guys just start going out. And then I don't know what the date is, but yeah, if it's nice, guys will be out there, guaranteed. Yeah, you're right, Rochelle. All weather dependent.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, looking forward to that. That's usually the first one. First one I get out to.
Yeah. There is actually something I want to mention before. Want to let you guys know. Make sure you guys check your guys' Facebook accounts and your guys' profiles, and make sure you guys are not being hacked. Because Gary's friend Glenn that had moved out of Saskatoon, that was the retired RCMP officer that I met on that one Thursday when they did that special episode of doing that fire truck pick. He was trying to scam me about this some sort of dollars and all that, and he was acting very strange towards me on Facebook, and I had to let Gary know about this. And so just watch your guys' accounts and
a lot of guys
all that, because
a lot of guys are getting hacked. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Thanks, Denise. Yes, it's a very good point.
All right, guys. Well, and we got Cam on here also. Hi, Mr. Cam.
Hey, Cam. How are you?
Well, we've been on here for over an hour now, and I very much appreciate all you guys tuning in. Stay tuned to the channel. Might be able to share some RC stuff with you. Certainly, there's going to be some more Dragon stuff coming up. That's a given for sure. And we'll have. You're doing good. Perfect.
That's good.
We'll have lots more car show stuff to share with you very near future. Anyway, it was very good to tune in with you. Good to see Warren. Good to see Warren back. And we'll have to do this again. I enjoy doing this with Warren. Have a lot of fun.
And I want to wish everybody a safe day tomorrow. And like I said before, just be careful when you go out tomorrow, because there might be tons of snow on the ground. And just easy if you have to go anywhere tomorrow.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for saying hi. It's good to touch base with you guys. We'll continue to do this. We'll see you guys very soon. And have a safe weekend. It's pretty ugly out there.
Yep. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.